In just a couple of hours, Governor Kemp is expected to sign a major overhaul of Georgia's early reading program into law. Supporters say the $70 million Georgia Early Literacy Act could bring big changes to elementary schools.
Atlanta News First, Mary-Kate Hamilton is live for us at the Georgia State Capitol. And Mary-Kate, today is a long time coming for advocates.
That's right. And finally today, the governor, legislators, and education advocates are all set to gather here at the Georgia State Capitol. Many of them sure to be celebrating after this was a massive priority for many lawmakers across the aisle this legislative session. And advocates say that this bill will change the way Georgia's kids learn how to read. The bill rewrites the state's literacy program, targeting our youngest readers, that's kindergarten through third grade, with a big push to make sure kids learn to read early and then don't fall through the cracks. One change parents could notice the fastest: one full-time literacy coach in every elementary school. The state would offer grants to reimburse districts for the salary and benefits for those coaches and requires them to spend at least 70% of their time in classrooms working directly with students. The bill also updates dyslexia and screening requirements and steers districts toward reading instruction aligned with the science of reading. The Georgia Early Literacy Act cleared both the House and Senate unanimously, and while it focuses on K through 3, advocates say the impact will go far beyond elementary school.
For me, literacy is about social justice. You know, we live in a society, you have to be able to read so that you can have access and opportunity.
And I heard someone say just a few days ago that up until third grade you learn how to read, and after third grade forward you read to know how to learn.
And we will, of course, have coverage later this afternoon. This signage supposed to happen around 2 o'clock this afternoon. For now, live at the Georgia State Capitol, Mary-Kate Hamilton, Atlanta News First.
Mary-Kate, thank you. How about some good news right now at noon? You may want to check your bank account because special tax refunds have started going out to Georgia taxpayers. The State Department of Revenue says you should expect to see that money in the coming weeks. This special tax refund